Hello, in this lecture we are going to add a picture directory that will include the pictures or images we want to be displayed in our screensaver. We'll also be implementing some code. I have already added my picture directory. I'm just going to show you how to do that. So you click on Start, go to Documents. Visual Studio usually stores this project in your Documents directory. So click on Visual Studio, click on Projects, click on the name of your project. That's my project. Click on the project name again. Click on the bin directory. Click on Debug, and you should have a directory called pics. Make sure your directory is named the same way. And inside you just have a list. I've got a list of images, so it doesn't matter. You can have a few, you can have many, it doesn't really matter. Well, what's important is that you have an image called a directory called pics in that project area. Okay, it must be within the bin and in the debug section. So make sure inside the bin directory and then the debug directory, you've got a directory called pics that will include your pictures. So this will be the pictures that the screensaver will be referencing. The code you'll be writing for this project will help you later on with your skills, and you can apply that code to other stuff as well. So click on the form design, and the two ways you can do this. You can either double click. What I'm trying to achieve, I want to see the code behind the form. Visual Studio generates kind of like a skeletal code. So you can either double click, or you can go view and select code, or select F7. So I'm just going to select code. You can also do F7 if you wish, and that will give you the code behind the form. This was the event handler we generated in our previous lecture that will enable you to close the screen once you press any key on your keyboard. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a couple of variables. So I've added some code here. This is the code I have added. Make sure you add it just above this public partial class. Make sure it is between these curly braces and this public firm SC saver. So what I've done here, I've created two variables. Line 15 here is a variable that holds an array. One of them will be an array of pictures. Okay, and the second one on line 16 will be an array or Brit pic objects. Notice there's some squiggly lines because this class here, I've not defined the class yet. So that's why Visual Studio is complaining. I'm going to define the class in a minute. So, but this two, a list basically is a kind of an array. Okay, so I've got two arrays here. One is going to store the images, and the other is going to store the Brit pic objects. All right, this Brit pic is a special data type, and it's going to hold a position for each picture in our screensaver. But I'm going to define that class shortly. Also, I have used a random object here and given it the name rand. We're going to use this to generate random numbers. So I've given it equals to new creates a new instance of it, new random. Okay, so that's this bit of the code. Just know that the first line here, this will store an array of pictures. The second will store an array of Brit pic objects. So I've added some more code. I've now created that class. So this is what I've just added. I've created the class Brit pic. So you can see the squiggly lines have gone now. In Visual Studio, if you're not sure what the code does, just place your mouse over it and the tooltip will give you a guide. It tells you that, just put your mouse over it and it will tell you what that code does. So I've created a class and I've called it BritPic. This is a special data type, this BritPic. It's going to hold the position for each picture in our screensaver. I've also declared several variables here within this BritPic class. So they're all public. That means they can be accessed from any part of the code. And the first one, the data type is an integer. I've given it a name of pic number. Second, it is a float data type. It tells you a float represents a single precision floating point number, and giving it the value of x. The same data type here, float, again giving it a variable of y. Another float data type, and I've given it a name of speed. So we'll be using these variables later on in the project. That's it for this project. That's it for this lecture, not the project. We will progress in the next lecture. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.